All right, so Niyama is the second limb of Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is what's referred to as the Eightfold Path. So it's a comprehensive system that's been outlined by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. So Ashtanga comes from the Sanskrit word asta meaning eight and anga meaning limbs. So it's a path designed to purify the mind and the body and lead practitioners towards spiritual enlightenment and self-realization. So we're going to talk about those spiritual disciplines and the personal conduct with the limb of Niyama. So first, let's talk about what Niyama is. So Niyama, it basically offers a framework for personal evolution by guiding us towards the cultivation of harmony within ourselves, and it does it in 5 ways. So the first way is Saucha, or cleanliness. The next way is Santosha, or contentment. The next way is Tapas, which is austerity, and austerity is about cultivating strength and resilience through embracing challenges and discomfort. The next thing is Svadhyaya, and that's self-study. And then it's Ishvara Pranidhana, and that's devotion to a higher consciousness. So now we're going to go deeper into each of these 5, and see how they work together, and also how they work with the other limbs to bring us towards moksha, or liberation. So the first is Saucha, or cleanliness, and Saucha is about purity in the mind and the body and in an energetic field. So purity in the body involves basic stuff like cleanliness and health, making sure you practice proper hygiene, bathing and consuming a clean diet. And then the next thing is they do have something called the sattvic diet that's normally coupled with this, and that's a diet that's designed to nourish the body without introducing toxins. And that's a diet that's in conjunction with Saucha. But whatever diet works for you, use that diet. As long as it's nourishing the body without introducing toxins to it, then it's following this principle. And that's going to depend on your background, where you come from, what your doctor recommends, because this is not dietary information or health information that you get from your doctor. So then there's physical purification, and that also extends to the practice of cleansing techniques known as kriyas. And these kriyas help to detoxify the body and maintain the health of the internal organs. So then there's the purity of the mind, and mental purity is achieved by cultivating positive thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. And it involves letting go of negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, and greed, and replacing them with love, compassion, and contentment. And I'm just going to add to this that shadow work should be included too, so that you integrate the shadow of yourself, so that you can be whole. I mean, you need the darkness just like you need the light. So mindfulness and meditation are the practices that help clear the mind of clutter and promote mental clarity. So next, there's purity of speech. And purity of speech is about being truthful, being kind, and constructive in your communication. It involves being mindful of the words that you use and making sure that your speech reflects your integrity. And the next is the purity of your environment. And you want to make sure that your environment is clean. And this includes decluttering of physical spaces, maintaining cleanliness, and surrounding yourself with positive influences and energies. And next is purity in behavior. And this involves aligning your actions with ethical and moral principles, ensuring that your behavior reflects inner purity and contributes to the well-being of yourself and others. The next is cleansing practices that go beyond the physical. So there's also aura cleansing, and there's also chakra balancing, and these can help you maintain your energetic field. So the next of the 5 niyamas is Santosha, or contentment. And Santosha is exactly what it sounds like. It's about embracing contentment, and this is done by practicing gratitude practices. And doing this can help elevate your frequency and help you foster a sense of inner peace. Now the third niyama is Tapas, or austerity. And austerity has to do with building resilience by engaging in challenges. And Tapas is basically like that fire behind your self-discipline. It's what fuels your spiritual transformation. And there are practices that can help you harness that inner fire and empower you to overcome any obstacles or achieve any personal growth that you want. So the fourth niyama is svadhyaya, or self-study. And svadhyaya encourages us to reflect deeply and the study of sacred texts. And this is whatever sacred text resonates with you, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, the I Ching, the pyramid text, like whatever resonates with you, you use that in your practice of svadhyaya, or self-study. And we can accomplish that through meditation and intuitive insights that we get. And through this, we can access higher knowledge and unlock the mysteries within ourselves. So the last niyama is Ishvara Pranidhana, and that is devotion to a higher consciousness. And Ishvara Pranidhana is about surrender or devotion. It's about us being guided towards unity with the divine, or with the all, or with the source. And this can be accomplished by coming into alignment with the divine will and the cosmic consciousness, and help us align with the universal flow of life. So in this next section, we're going to talk about integrating niyama into modern life with some metaphysical practices. And so this world that we live in can be very fast paced. So some of these practices can help you slow down and help you integrate niyama into your life. And by incorporating these practices, such as visualization, energy healing, just mindfulness throughout your day, you can bring harmony into your life, and along with physical practices as well. So these practices, they not only enhance our personal well-being, but they also contribute to the collective elevation of consciousness. So these are 6 practices that you can do to integrate niyama into your daily life, and they're pretty much the stuff that we touched on, but just in a more practical way. So a morning routine, an example is a devotee of niyama will begin their day with a structured morning routine that includes meditation, pranayama, which is breath control, and asanas, which are yoga postures. And I mean, you can so this basically, it sets a positive tone for the day. And it aligns the mind with the body and with your spiritual intentions. The second is japa meditation, and this involves the repetition of a mantra, often using a mala, which is basically like prayer beads, so you can help keep count while you repeat the mantras. And this practice, japa, helps focus the mind, cultivate the devotion, and deepen one's connection to the divine in the form of tapas, or self-discipline. And this enhances concentration and inner peace. Whatever meditation works for you. What I'm saying? Like the japa meditation is one, but whichever one works for you. Whatever morning ritual works for you to help you work on those 3 things: some kind of meditation, some kind of breath control, some kind of light body movement, yoga postures. The third is svadhyaya, or self-study, and devotees will dedicate time to studying sacred texts such as the Bhagavad Gita or the Yoga Sutras, or any ancient text, like I said before, that resonates with you, to gain deeper insights into the teachings and into yourself. So this practice, it encourages self-reflection and personal growth, and it helps you align with niyama or svadhyaya. So the fourth is seva, or selfless service. Engaging in acts of selfless service without expecting anything in return is a powerful way to practice niyama. The devotees might volunteer at community centers. They might participate in an environmental cleanup. They might help those in need. So seva fosters humility, compassion, and a sense of interconnectedness. And you could practice giving in any way. It could be something as simple as giving somebody some knowledge without expecting nothing in return, giving somebody some money. I seen a street performer the other day. I gave him some money. You know what I'm saying? And people do this on big and small levels. Some people make huge donations to charities. I'm saying? Some people give away stuff in the community to the homeless, to the kids. Just any way that you can help. It don't got to be big. It can be small. Just anything that you help somebody else with, without looking for anything in return. It could be making a video and sharing some knowledge that you have to help somebody. So any form of selfless service. And the fifth is mindful living. So throughout their day, a devotee or practitioner, Niyama practitioner, would strive to maintain awareness and mindfulness in their actions, in their thoughts, and in their interactions. And this includes practicing ahimsa, which is nonviolence, which is one of the yamas. So now we're going into one of the other limbs, and cultivating gratitude, and that helps cultivate gratitude and contentment, or Santosha. So and finally, evening reflection. So at the end of the day, a devotee would engage in reflection or journaling to review their actions, thoughts, and their emotions. And this practice helps identify any areas that need improvement or reinforce their commitment to the spiritual path. So next, I want to talk about a real life example of Niyama being impersonated in real life with somebody that's known in the yoga community. So Niyama, just to keep in mind, is something that's practiced. It's not something that's just supposed to stay in your mind as a bunch of laws. So a real example of this lived out in daily life is BKS Iyengar. And Iyengar, he didn't come from comfort. He didn't come from health. He didn't come from privilege. He lived with a chronic illness, physical limitations, and pain and instability for most of his life. And yet he didn't turn to yoga as an escape. He turned to it for self-regulation. So for him, Saucha, it wasn't about purity ritual. It was about order, the order that came from it, whether it was order in his room or order in his body or order in attention. So his practice space was precise because clarity followed structure. So Santosha wasn't about happiness or positive thinking. It was about the refusal to not live with a certain mentality because of his circumstances. And his pain was acknowledged, but it wasn't dramatized. His limitations, they were accepted, but they weren't indulged in. So Tapas was not intensity for the sake of just being intense. It was a voluntary discipline. It wasn't something you had to do. He wanted to show up daily, hold postures for longer than was comfortable, and not to suffer, but to train steadiness and restraint. So Svadhyaya, it wasn't just about journaling or self-analysis. It was about direct observation. How does my body react when I stay in a certain pose? What changes when I adjust my alignment rather than just forcing effort? And Ishvara Pranadhana, it wasn't about blind devotion. It was about humility towards reality, where you give a full effort and the results will follow in their own time. It's about giving a full effort in the moment. So in Iyengar, he didn't use Niyama to feel spiritual. He used it to become stable. And that's the point. Niyama is not about becoming inspired. It's about being governed internally. And when you practice this way, Niyama stops being a philosophy and it actually starts to be a way of life or a personal operating system. So remember, when it comes to Niyama, this journey is personal to you and it's always evolving. So it's going to change over time. And by embracing the wisdom and the practices associated with Niyama, we can open ourselves to a greater sense of purpose in our lives and harmony and spiritual fulfillment. So I hope this made you more aware of the practice of Niyama and things that you already do that encapsulate in Niyama, and maybe made you aware of things that you don't do that you can probably integrate, or where areas where you can improve if this is something that you choose to practice. So if you haven't checked it out, I just did a video on the Niyamas. That's the first limb. This is the video on the Niyama, the second limb, and we'll be going into the next video later. So make sure you click that notification button. Make sure you subscribe so you can be here for the next episode.